Good day, math learners! Welcome to session 6.1, Equation of a Parabola. This is an additional instruction and addendum to the previous session discussed with session 6, which was about equation of a parabola. Let's begin. Alright, so let me divide the board into two equal parts. Okay? Let me do it again. Alright, so here at the left, I'm going to discuss about the equation of a parabola in standard form, given the vertex at HK and assuming that C is greater than 0. Alright? And that the vertex lies between the directrix and the focus, and the distance from the vertex to the focus is equal to the distance from the vertex to the directrix. Alright? So we have the standard form of the equation of a vertical parabola. That one which opens either upward or downwards. Vertical parabola. Okay? So number 1, if it opens upward, the standard form of the equation would be x minus h quantity squared equal to 4c times y minus k. If it opens downward, the equation would be x minus h quantity squared equal to negative 4c times y minus k. Now let's come to the horizontal parabola, the one that opens either to the left or to the right. Let's talk about the parabola that opens to the right. Alright, so the equation of that particular parabola is y minus k quantity squared equal to 4c times x minus h. And if it opens to the left, the equation would be y minus k quantity squared equal to negative 4c times x minus h. Alright? Now let's come to the equations of a parabola when equation of a parabola in standard form, given the vertex at HK and the C being the directed distance from the vertex to the focus. Okay, so we have here we have a theorem for that, and the vertical parabola has an equation x minus h quantity squared equal to 4c times y minus k. And when your graph opens upward, okay, number 1, when it opens upward, your c is positive because c is above the vertex. And when we say directed distance, it's going up. Alright, so c is positive, so the equation is x minus h quantity squared equal to 4c times y minus k. And if it's going downward, since c is a directed distance from the vertex to the focus, then this is x minus h quantity squared. Our c here becomes negative, so negative c times 4 is negative 4c times y minus k. So as you can see, this is still the same as this. Alright, and the second one is also just the same as that. Okay, now let's move to the horizontal parabola. Alright, so when the parabola is opening towards the right, the equation here would be y minus k quantity squared equal to 4c times x minus h. So when it opens to the right, Alright, your c there is positive. So the equation would be the same, this one. Okay, that one. When it opens to the left, number 2. When it opens to the left, your c is negative. So this is y minus k quantity squared equal to c is negative times 4. That's negative 4c times x minus h. So as you can see, this is still the same as this equation, and the second one is also the same as that. Alright, so whichever of these two you find more convenient to use, then it would be okay. The equation would still be the same. So I hope it is quite clearer now. Alright, so moving on, it would actually also help us much if we, let me use the white ink again. It would also help us much if we stick to our C being assumed as greater than 0. Why? Because C is also used in determining the coordinates of our focus and the equation of our directrix. Alright, so for instance, if your graph is opening upward, okay, this is our y, our x here. If our graph is opening upwards, so let's say we have this graph, and this is our focus, this is our vertex. Given our vertex at hk, the focus would be in this particular parabola, the focus would be equivalent to, the coordinates of the focus will be at h, and the y coordinate will be just at, this is k here. So if this is c, then it would only be k plus c, okay? And if our parabola is opening downwards, and this is our vertex at hk, and this is our focus, if we take this one as c being the distance from the vertex to the focus, then the coordinates of our focus here would be again at h, and we just go to k, doing k minus c. Okay, whereas if we let our c be less than 0, if the graph is opening downwards or to the left, and greater than 0 when it's opening upward or to the right, you might get confused in finding for your focus, because you might incur this one to be h and k minus negative c. Alright? So better if we just stick to our c being assumed as greater than 0. So with that, therefore, the equations of our parabola would be, we would have for parabola opening upwards, and yes, opening upward, we would have x minus h quantity squared equal to 4c times y minus k. Alright? And if it's opening downwards, we would have x minus h quantity squared equal to negative 4c, and our c there is already greater than 0, times y minus k. This is for the vertical parabola. Alright? And if we go to, if we have the horizontal parabola, if it's opening to the right, the same explanation, we would have y minus k quantity squared equal to 4c times x minus h. And if it's opening to the left, we would have y minus k quantity squared equal to negative 4c times x minus h. And again, our c here is assumed to be greater than 0. Sticking to this one would also help us when we move to our topic on ellipse and hyperbola, because the c's there are all greater than 0. Alright, so that would be all. Stay safe always, learners, and good day to all.